Doing all right. It's a little bit of workout. Um, just off today.
Yeah. I had a flag football game early or it wasn't too early. It was like 10:30. We had a little double header today, and just got back from doing all that.
It's pretty cool. Flag football. Yeah, been a while. Um, just been filming regular football, but that's cool as well.
Yeah, it's fun to get back
Yeah,
out there. All the boys again.
yeah, always cool. But
How's the filming going?
going good. Um, get back tomorrow. Get back tomorrow. Um, this our last week as far as summer filming. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's like a few weeks till fall camp, so see how that goes. But yeah, summer's been cool. Besides getting up early, um, but
Yeah.
but
So you've been filming like all the practices.
yeah. So for March uh, through May, we filmed spring ball uh,
Mm-hmm.
drills, and then we did the spring game, and then for summer or for this month, it's just been regular drills, like indie stuff. Um, so not really team stuff, but just really
Gotcha.
drills. So that's been fun.
Sweet. That sounds like a sweet gig, man.
Yeah.
Will you be able to go to the games and stuff with the team?
Uh, yeah, yeah. Well, if I'm brought back, cause we have like a new supervisor and stuff after this week, but yeah, bring they bring back, then yeah, I'll be probably filming practice and um, probably filming games and whatnot. So we'll see how it goes. Certainly, but it's certainly
Hell yeah,
been
man.
it's certainly been fun the last few months. But but
Yeah, it's a good experience for sure.
yeah, true. Always helps with a resume. Certainly,
Right.
yeah. But hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining me again on the podcast. Have a new guest here for sports review topics here to discuss. So, um, last time it's been a couple weeks, but new guest on the podcast. Someone I've known for what 12, 13 years, and good
Yeah,
catch
at
up.
least.
Yeah, good catch up with him again. But Bud Joaquin here today to discuss sports and stuff on the podcast. Um, here he is right now. How you doing, Joaquin?
Hey, yep, doing good. Um, just excited to be here. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Yeah, been trying to experience having you know guests on again for the podcast. Just new things, but yeah, it's good to see. Good that good that you're here today. So
Sweet.
yeah. So first off, it's kind of cool that uh, you let me know, but good timing because we had some. You're a UFC fan, likewise, and it's always fun to catch fights. So for
Right.
starters, did you catch the card yesterday?
I watched a little bit of it, but I had to run some errands. It was in Saudi Arabia, right? So it was like
Yeah.
middle of the day. So I didn't get to watch the main event. I was watching a few of the earlier fights.
Yeah. I caught the last few of the prelims, and then I It's funny. I saw the advertisement, and then I didn't know that was on TV, the main card. But then I saw the last few fights live, so I caught videos of the first couple fights. But yeah, so I would say a pretty good card. Not too much on paper, but saw Volkan Ozdemir knock out Johnny Walker. That
Yeah.
that's good. Solid point for him to be back in the race. Um, Shara Shara Magomedov was called out by Bo Nickel after his big win in the main event. Yeah, Bo
Yeah,
Nick.
that's the dude with one eye, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's pretty decent.
yeah.
But
It's
Bo Nickel's no joke either, so I wouldn't mind watching that.
yeah. Plus, of course, we see from time to time, these young guys, they're brought in and Dana probably won't admit it, but they kind of get, relatively easy fights in the beginning, but which I get, Bo Nickel
Yeah,
is,
I think especially a lot of the guys that are like kind of hyped up coming into the UFC seems like they at least get a few give me's. So I'd agree.
but yeah, from certainly what we saw of Magomedov, yeah, he'd certainly be an interesting challenge for Bo Nickel. Or that would be a fun fight to see.
Yeah, two good grapplers go at it would be great. Yeah.
And then, especially with Shemaev pulling out, this was really kind of the main event. Alexander Volkov winning a solid decision over Sergey Pavlovich. And yeah, Volkov, always been a fan of his. Yeah, he's big. He kind of reminds me of what Struve, kind of what we think should have been in the way of using his range. And
He's a good striker for sure.
yeah,
Hell of a striker.
yeah, Volkov, yeah, big. And certainly with a big win like this, puts him in the marquee up of the heavyweight division, because I think we can agree it's kind of in a weird spot with Jones being injured, likely gonna fight Stipe, and then Aspinall gonna fight Curtis Blades in a few weeks. So yeah, big win for Volkov.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Heavyweight. Yeah, the heavyweight division is at an interesting point right now. Have they announced who's going to fight John next? Or who he's going to have to defend it against?
The way it seems is that they're trying to hold off until Jones for Stipe. I mean, that seems like the only fight that they would want. Because Aspinall is gonna fight Curtis Blades for his
Okay, yeah.
interim title fight, and see
So that's who they say it's going to be. There's no official date yet, though, right?
yeah, that's just the way it seems, because
Right.
see, it's unfortunate because it's a fun fight we'd love to see, but unfortunately Jones and Stipe, they've been relatively inactive the last few years, so the interest level is going to be there. It's just kind of like, in a way.
Right, yeah. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would tune in for that fight.
Yeah. And then in the main event, Robert Whitaker defeated on late notice Ikram Alaskarov, which credit to Askarov taking Robert Whitaker on short notice, but the Reaper, you know, so one of the best. The way we've seen knocked him out in fairly short fashion, so very good for him.
Yeah, Robert Whitaker's still he's still a world class fighter, right? He's still not really a bum quite yet. So
Yeah.
he's getting up there in age, but what is he? 32 now?
Early 30s,
Maybe.
I think. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, he's still a good fighter though. Happy he got the win for sure.
Yeah. Hope that Shamaev has a quick and good recovery, because that was certainly a fight that many were hoping to see, including me. But yeah, hopefully smooth recovery. And yeah, Whitaker, um, he's in a unique situation as well, because he lost to Adesanya twice, and Adesanya's gonna fight Dricus Duplessis.
Yeah, I want to see that fight. They just announced that, right?
Yeah, for August. So
that'll be exciting.
Yeah, certainly a fun fight. But certainly a fight I would love to see in the meantime is Whitaker versus Sean Strickland. That would be a hell of a fight to determine who gets, I would assume, the next crack.
Yeah, I mean that division just got they got some good talent in that middleweight division. You know, it's always competitive. You get like a mix of that knockout power with a bit more athleticism. So it's always exciting any matchup they kind of throw together. So
True. Um, but yeah, fights up there look to be interesting for next bit. And while we're on the topic of the UFC, we have UFC 303 next Saturday, which has quickly adopted a new outlook. At first, the main events, Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler, a fight I think a lot of people were hoping for. I bet you included. But
yep, for sure. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed. I saw looked like McGregor's injury was pretty legit. Looks like he broke his toe or something.
Yeah. I think he was at I think Bellator had a thing in Dublin yesterday, and he was asked about it, and he basically said he's not taking a chance flying someone, not 100%. But yeah, that's certainly a bummer as far as the fight.
Yeah, let's just hope he like Chimaev. Hopefully, he has a good and speedy recovery as well, so we can hopefully see him one more time before, you know. I mean, who knows what the future is for Conor, but I always love to watch him fight. So hopefully we could see him again soon.
That's true. It's always weird now with Conor because, he doesn't need to fight, but at the end of the day, he's like the big time draw that's left in the UFC. So, the UFC is gonna come calling if something's up.
Yeah, I know there was like a lot of rumors before he came out about his injury. There's kind of people saying that he might have wanted more money or something like that, and it kind of makes sense because you're right. He does probably bring in the most. I mean, what I know he has like top 4 selling UFC events, so he definitely brings in the money, so he deserves it. But it does seem like it was legitimate. He did break his toe, so. But yeah, I'd agree that it's just always nice watching him. He has this whole character. He's so good at playing. So every fight, the lead up to it is always entertaining as well.
Yeah, true. And assuming we do get that fight in the future between Chandler, obviously there's a storyline built up, already with the Ultimate Fighter and stuff, and it would be fun. But yeah, it's unfortunate. But with bad news comes good news in a way, because with the new outlook, I would say yes, it's lost, appeal as in star power, but I'd say overall it looks like a better card because out Connor and Chandler, but now we got Yuri versus Pereira Part 2, and Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. So, and of course, out Anthony Smith filling in face Carlos Holberg. So, yeah, I'd say it's a pretty good looking card, just with less star power.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, I'm not happy. I mean, I'm just as happy, I guess, with this new main event. I think it's going to be a good fight. It's always see this. Rematches are hard. You go in with a game plan with the first fight, and usually you're a lot more comfortable in the second fight. So it should be pretty exciting. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we know both have knockout power. We know Pereira, it's always interesting when you see guys, go up a weight class and not have to cut as much weight and still have, as great as power, if not better. And against Yuri is like a samurai in there. He just will go down swinging, if that's how it happens. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, man, I was always shocked when I'd see Alex Pereira even like making 185. It was always because you see him in the ring the day after, and he looks humongous. So I think it's the right move for him. Moving up to light heavyweight. I think he looks really good there. Yuri is also a beast as well. So yeah, that's going to be a super super dope fight. I'm excited for that one for sure.
It's funny as we talk about weight, and really it felt like this weight turnaround certainly changed. Or you put into perspective when really Connor, bursts on the scene, and then we see those weigh-ins, and he looks like different being at these weigh-ins, and then I think is really when the UFC, got better with this weight issue, and then you see fighters, realizing that they shouldn't have to drain themselves as much. So it's great to see.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's the one thing I kind of agree with more than at least boxing. I think they should be able to like rehydrate and whatnot. I mean,
Yeah.
but another fight that I kind of like on that card though is that Michael Page fight. excited to see. His last fight was pretty exciting against Kevin Holland. I think that was his debut in the UFC. So always like to watch that. A good striker, So
Yeah, I was actually gonna mention that. Thanks for um, going into it. But yeah, MVP. You know, like Chandler. You know, it's always interesting when you see a guy jump ship and see how they pivot back on their success, or depends. But yeah, MVP looked very good against Holland. Now he faces a lanky but still very who's on the rise in his own right in Gary. Um, you know, he's a guy who likes to talk trash as well, and it makes for an interesting fight. As far as characters, I would say between MVP and
for
Gary.
sure, yeah, because it was interesting seeing Kevin Holland in there and like someone talking shit back to him, So yeah, MVP is definitely fun to watch. It should be a great fight as well.
Yeah, but yeah, overall, seems like UFC 303 is interesting. Hopefully, they can, backs up with a very good card. So we'll see. But yeah, it's good to see. So going from UFC, because we're kind of football we mentioned, but we didn't mention, you know, NFL, college, and you mentioned to me that, and I know a few that are probably optimistic, or if not very optimistic, about the Bears, this season. So, just want to get your thoughts on expectations going into the season, with Caleb Williams and company, because the NFC North looks to be one of the better divisions, I would say, in football, certainly.
You know what? Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. NFC North does look tough right now, but I was always a big Jason Fields fan as well. I really didn't want to see him leave, but I'm happy with the draft picks we picked up this year. So it should be. I mean, the offense is set up for Caleb Williams to succeed right now. It seems like, right? Got a bunch of new pickups. Got Keenan Allen on the outside. The new first round pick, Rome Rome. I just call him Rome, but yeah, he's looking like a beast for sure too. And then we got DeAndre Swift. I think that's a good pickup. Still have a Cole Kmet, DJ Moore, obviously going to be another key playmaker for us. I mean, I think the offense is looking pretty solid right now. So, with that being said, I mean, I'm confident in the Bears. I think they're at least gonna win a few more games than we did last season. So, looking at the schedule, I'm gonna try to make a game maybe out in Arizona or something. I think they're playing the Cardinals at home, so that should be a good little game to check out. But yeah, I'm excited, man. The Bears I think they're looking good.
Yeah, certainly, because we're in an offensive league, or I think we've seen that the league has shifted more into an offensive league. So I the offense definitely looks capable, and to have, I'd say, around 500 record, and the defense feels like it may need a little bit of work, but that will take time. But yeah, certainly optimistic for the Bears, I would say, this season.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it's going to come down to the coaching, and play calls. Because in my opinion, I don't think. I mean, there was a few plays obviously last season where you could probably put it on Justin Fields, but I think a lot of it was a little bit of coaching and the play calls. So we'll see how they kind of adjust with this new QB. But yeah, I think the defense, yeah, it's looking okay. We did get to lose a few decent players, so we'll see how they adjust to that as well. So, but yeah, I'm excited, man. I think the Hard Knocks HBO series is going to be about the Bears, so definitely going to watch that. But yeah, what about you? How are you feeling about the Patriots, man?
So, I when when you see or when you have pretty much the GOAT for many years and Tom Brady, you learn to be humble and learn to kind of temper your expectation when you don't have him anymore. And I would say Mac Jones, I don't think all of it was on him. I mean, I do think Belichick, I think we could definitely say for the last so many years that Belichick was a very good coach, but as a executive or GM wasn't really there. So I don't think it was totally on Mac Jones, but now with new head coach and Gerard Mayo and Elliot Wolf, who's so fair as GM, I would say there's optimism, but like we mentioned about the NFC North, the AFC East is looking tough this season. It's like Josh Allen, the Bills, Aaron Rodgers, assuming he's healthy, and then Tua,
and Tyreek.
So, could we get if Drake May has like a just an amazing rookie season, I could definitely see above 500, but I would say the best case scenario or a reasonable scenario would probably be between 5 or 4 to 7 wins this season. And then, because I do like Drake May, I do like Polk, one of the other Washington receivers they picked up.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not too much of substance right now with Patriots, so I would say I'm optimistic, but I've learned to temper my expectations now. So I'm glad with the new start, and if this team feels like maybe next year or in 2 years it could be a contender, but right now it just seems like a building for the future team.
Right, kind of still in that rebuilding kind of stage. Yeah, I would agree. but yeah, like you said, your division's looking pretty tough as well. So it'll be interesting to see how the Patriots do for sure.
Yeah, but nonetheless, at least we got, I would say, the quarterback I guess we wanted because, Drake May, um, I guess the Patriots are hoping he's their version of Josh Allen. Um, but we'll see. Time will tell.
Right. Yep.
But yeah, overall, the season's looking, I would say, unique for both sides.
Yeah. I mean, I'm counting down the days personally. I don't know about you, but yeah, can't wait for football to be back. So.
Were you able to catch any of the spring UFL league?
No, I mean, I throw it on once in a while, have it on in the background, but I wasn't really paying attention or following it too closely. Yeah, unfortunately not. Any big names to look out for?
So yeah, there's a number. It's good to see what the Rock and others are doing with this league. Certainly to give extra chances, and it's cool that because our new supervisor, he's actually has experience with the spring football. But as far as guys, yeah, there's certainly a few to look out for. It's like Adrian Martinez. He was the MVP for Birmingham Stallions. He's a mobile, good QB. Thing is, there's a lot of very good or starters in this league for the NFL. So it feels like he may have to do a Alex Magoo role, who was the quarterback for Birmingham last year, as in probably have to be a backup and then wait for his time. But it's good to see. Hakeem Butler, you mentioned Arizona. He was drafted by the Cardinals a few years ago. He's a big receiver. He was the offensive player of the year. Had about 700 yards receiving. But yeah, certainly a big guy for a receiver. Certainly be helpful for someone. Certainly. Let's see who else. Thinking right off the top of my head. Anthony McFarland. He was a running back for the Steelers, and now he played for the San Antonio in spring league. So certainly I could see him on a roster as well come the fall. But there were some unique names. AJ McCarron as well, the St. Louis QB. Although his story was interesting because he said that he would rather be starting for the UFL as opposed to being a backup. So maybe that influences guys to want to play for spring football, or we'll see. But there are a few guys, certainly, that could come along for from the UFL.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great opportunity for him. Um, you know, still display what skills they still have. So that should be interesting to see for sure. See some of these guys come up.
Yeah, and some guys, perhaps need more seasoning, and as far as the pro style, and this is certainly good for second chances. Oh yeah, going back to your division, guy who was signed last week, um, Jake Bates. He was the number one kicker for UFL this year. He played for Michigan, but signed with the Lions. He has like a big leg. Kicked like multiple 60-yard plus field goals. So, certainly good to see. I know last year, Brendan Aubrey, who's now the Cowboys kicker, he did very good. So, yeah, good to see.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, kind of the kicker position is kind of underrated on how important it is to the game of football for sure. So, I mean, anytime you can snag a guy like that, you got to, right?
Yeah, true. Pretty much a great kicker can make a mediocre offense, good.
Right.
That's the funny thing.
Keep them in the game for sure.
It's like
I mean, and then in the Lions, I mean, they have a decent offense, right, too. So that's what's, I mean, adding that guy is definitely not a bad idea.
Well, and you wonder because the biggest thing when people talk about the Lions versus San Francisco was, being aggressive and not taking those field goals.
Right.
Well, now they signed Bates. Perhaps maybe they'll be more confident as far as those positions are concerned.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I definitely think, that was a crazy decision. But, the Lions, they look good. They still got I think they're still bringing back Montgomery, right?
Yeah.
And then they still got Gibbs. He had a great year last year, I thought, especially in those games where Montgomery was out. Got Monte Brown, right?
Or St. Brown or Amon
yeah. Amon-Ra St. Brown, yeah, he's a beast too. So, yeah, their squad looks solid, and even on the other side of the ball, they got some good weapons as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they'll definitely be a tough team to beat. But the Bears beat them once last year. They almost beat them twice. I think they gave up like a 12-point lead in like the last 4 minutes of the game. So, the one team I think in the NFC North that I always kind of worry about is the Green Bay Packers, as you imagine. So, those guys seem to always beat the Bears. So, I'd love to see them just to get one win on them this season at least. So, that'd be great.
Yeah, the Packers feel like a weird team because Jordan Love, he started the year okay and then turned on really near Thanksgiving and really did well. And their team is very inexperienced and quite young, so certainly interesting. I would say on paper, the Bears have the better offense, but comes down to quarterback play, and
Right.
you know, and of course the one team from that division we haven't mentioned is the Minnesota Vikings, who I don't think they'll have they could have a down season this year as far as record, but as far as looking better on offense, I think it's totally there. Like with the new fresh start for JJ McCarthy.
Right. I think it's definitely an interesting pick. Um, you know, not a bad pick. He's obviously a great player, but um, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not as worried about the Vikings this year. I guess. I mean, I know they just paid Justin Jefferson. Looks like he's going to be with them for a while now. But it doesn't seem like they have too many weapons.
They're in a unique place certainly, because we have they have Jefferson, Addison. Did well last season. Hawkinson
Right.
coming off an injury. Um, we'll see how he is off his injury, but yeah, we'll certainly see.
I
Certain
mean, it was interesting to see the Kirk Cousins trade, right? Crazy how much they paid that guy.
Yeah, and then they drafted Michael Penix. I
Right,
think that was
right.
certainly that was certainly a eye opener, a jaw dropper on
Yeah, I
draft
don't think
night.
anybody was expecting that. That was interesting for sure.
Yeah, that's a unique situation because um, if if you play Penix and he does well, then it's almost like why did
You just wasted all that money, right?
but if Cousins does well and Penix, doesn't get to see the field, then it
You
goes
wasted,
back to the
yeah.
draft pick. So
Right, exactly.
yeah, it's a double-edged sword, but yeah, we'll see. Um, what other teams would you say that you got your eye on? I would say for
You know,
football.
I still room with my roommate's Aaron Vanderhee, so kind of interested to see what the Steelers do. He's a Steelers fan. They got Russell Wilson and Justin Fields now, so kind of interested in how that quarterback room is going to be ran, and who's going to be uh, starting. So, I mean, I would think it'd be Russ, but I guess you never know. I think it's a good opportunity for Fields, though. It doesn't. I mean, Russ is a great quarterback. I mean, I think he has 2 Super Bowl rings, right?
Um,
Or is it just one? Either way, he's a great quarterback. I think he has a similar playing style to Justin Fields, at least in his early days. So hopefully, he can help him develop better as a quarterback. I think they're a little bit lacking at the wide receiver position, though. I mean, I think they still have Deontay Johnson, right? So thought he had a decent year last year. But I guess the Broncos will be interesting just based on their quarterback room. Um, I don't think they. I wonder who's going to be starting for them. That should be interesting. The 49ers, another good, interesting team, They obviously have hell of an offense and a defense, right? So, though the Chargers, Jim Harbaugh's stepped on the scene. So, seeing him at the next, or the professional level is going to be obviously a treat for us. I would think him and Justin Herbert. I don't particularly like the Cowboys, but I'm always eager to see how they do, just because there's so many Cowboy fans here in Albuquerque. But yeah, I think those are the guys I'm kind of watching always. I mean, the Eagles, obviously, they're always like right. I mean, the past couple of years, it seems like they've been so close, but they can't really fully put it together. So
Yeah, the 49ers, they had their chance and kind of blew it in the Super Bowl. So how they get back is gonna be tough. Um, but yeah, I certainly love their team. It's just a matter of how they get back.
right, Christian McCaffrey's just a beast. Like, I always love watching that guy run the football. So can't never hate on the 49ers. They still got some players, right, on both sides. So it'll be interesting to see how they do.
The only weird thing that's right now about the 49ers is the Brandon Ayuk situation. Will he get traded? Will he not? Because there are a few wide receivers that want to get paid, and he's certainly one of them.
Right. Yeah, we'll see. That'll be interesting for sure. I don't. Who else? I think are they still bringing back? Who's their tight end? They're slipping my mind right now.
Kittle.
George Kittle.
Yeah.
He's still coming back, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
And then they who was their other receiver?
Debo
Samuel's obviously still gonna. I think they'll be. I don't think that. I don't know. I don't really think Ayuk is the best player even on that roster. So if they lose him, I think they'll be able to recover in some way.
Yeah, and they drafted a receiver in the first round, so who knows? Maybe he does well. But yeah, Kyle Shanahan is arguably the best coach in the league. So if he can turn someone into a gem, it could certainly be him.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, what's your thoughts on the Chiefs? What do you think? Obviously, they're going to try to go for the three-peat, right?
Yeah. Well, the weird thing is, they had a down year, and after on Christmas, they looked odd against the Raiders, and you didn't think that team would go on to win the Super Bowl. I would say so. Let's see. So they drafted Worthy, who's broke the record at the 40. So I bet they're kind of hoping he's their new Tyreek Hill. And then they got Marquise Brown, who I think is solid. Kelsey. There were times when he looked mediocre last year. It's like he's still one of the better tight ends, but he did look fairly mediocre during times um,
Right.
last year. So I the offense I think still be there. Um, Defense, brought back Jones and
Right.
Tranquil, so they'll they'll still be good. It's just their opposition. It kind of feels like, um, because Chargers, that was a great pickup for our hire for Harbaugh,
Right.
and I think the way it sounds, they're kind of being overlooked because I thought they had a great draft for the offense. Um, getting Jerry Rice's kid, and then McConkey. So I think that and Alt. So I think they'll do better. The Raiders. I mentioned Matt. He's optimistic, or Teo. He's optimistic. Um, I'm not too sure because Aiden O'Connell, he is kind of a mystery right now. Um, and then you mentioned with the Broncos, it depends how Bo Nix does. So the way it seems is they'll still make the playoffs, probably with Chiefs,
Mm-hmm.
and but I don't think they'll look like a great team. Um, they'll still be really good. It's just a matter of, did the Bills get better? Did the um,
Bengals.
Bengals? Joe Burrow's probably not gonna have a bad injury like he did last year. Um, the Browns are certainly a team that has my eye um, next year.
For sure.
Um, the Ravens, Lamar Jackson,
Right.
uh, Trevor Lawrence, I think will is on the upswing, and same with the Texans and C.J. Stroud.
Right.
So
Texans looked decent towards the end of the year last year, man.
yeah, so I think the Chiefs will still look really good. It's just, yeah, um, we'll see how much their opposition has improved. Um, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Like you said, excited to see how they do, especially with that new wideout, Worthy. I think. I mean, he's a speedster, so one more target's not bad for Patrick Mahomes. But definitely don't want to see them win another one. But um, yeah,
I think anyone can say they don't want they don't want to see it, but if there's one thing, revs and people love to talk about, the Chiefs winning it on a talk show or media show. So that's just my 2 cents on
right.
the deal. But yeah, um, we'll see. Not too long until preseason and the fall. So um, you know, um, well, I'll also mention because you're a Bears fan, um, and as we get closer to um, preseason, of course, is a Hall of Fame game and nearby, and Bears had a very good Hall of Fame part of the class. So I'm curious how much, because people, they don't really look forward to the Hall of Fame game. They look more towards the people getting inducted. So curious how pumped you'll see for that, and certainly we hope well, it'd certainly be great that Mongol hopefully gets you know inducted before he passes. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys, I guess, that doesn't really pay attention too much to the Hall of Fame game, but I think they had who did they have? Devin Hester and Julius Peppers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, obviously growing up watching Devin Hester was always awesome, right? I mean, Super Bowl in I think 2006. I think it was last time the Bears went. But he the first opening play kickoff kicks back for a touchdown. He was just such a unique and just a generational talent. Last real like return man that was like just something that you had to worry about as the other team. And then Julius Peppers obviously was always a beast. When is that? I think it's before the preseason, or
Yeah, it's like a week before. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll try to check it out. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think they have um something, and then there's the gold jackets, and then the induction like week before. So yeah, that'll be certainly fun to see. So your roommates with Vanderhee?
Yeah, still
That's that,
in that guy are still buds, man.
that's cool. How is he? I haven't spoken to
Doing
him in a
good,
bit.
man. He's really focusing on his business right now. Or not as much right now because the season's over, but he's still obviously doing some work. So I don't know if you know, but he's started his own waxing and tuning business for skis and snowboards that he runs most of the wintertime. Um, so he's been really focused on that. He's been doing really well. Had a lot of growth this last year. So shout out to that guy. His business is Downslope Mobile. So I don't know if any of your listeners do any of that, winter sports. But if they need any tuning to any of their equipment, give that guy a holler. Follow him on Instagram at Downslope Mobile. Should get you right. But yeah, he's doing great, man. He's really getting after it and pursuing his passion. So
That's cool. That's great from yeah. All I see on his stories nowadays are mostly either snowboarding or something cold. So yeah, haven't spoken in a while. I'll probably have to get him on here as well, see how he's doing. But yeah, good to see.
for sure, yeah, I'm sure he'd love it.
Last time I spoke to him, he said he grew his hair out. Is that true?
Yeah, his hair is still long. Probably past his shoulders right now, but yeah, it's been growing it out for a while now.
That's cool. That's cool. Last
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people recognize him when they see him, like people from high school, anyways.
yeah, he had certain guys. Yeah, when he certain buds, when you think of them, they have like certain haircuts or whatever, and then oh yeah, like the small like flaky in the front haircut. But yeah, I'm sure if I see him, probably won't recognize him, but cool to see. Yeah, but yeah, um, cool to see. And down sub mobile. So,
Yes, sir.
like you said, so if anyone if anyone listening, yeah, um, want to tune into that, and by all means, um, so last I guess before um we conclude this, were you able to catch the NBA Finals or the Stanley Cup? Because I know they're well, certainly for Stanley Cup they have Game 7 tomorrow.
You know what? Maybe I'll tune in for Game 7, but I haven't been following it as closely. I'm not a big hockey guy. And then NBA Finals, I mean, I was watching a little bit of the playoffs, but, after seeing, like, those first two losses that the Mavericks took, so I kind of just figured that Boston just looked too good, so I kind of just stopped paying attention.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, Boston finally got better 18 after so long. So kudos to them. Kudos to
Right.
their fans. But yeah, we'll see how Game 7 goes. Cause yeah, Florida was up 3-0, and Edmonton's won the next three. So hopefully a reverse sweep. But we'll see.
Yeah, Game 7's always exciting, right? There's always a lot on the line. Everybody's playing to win, so it should be a good game or good match. I don't know what they call hockey. Good match, I guess. Hockey match. I don't know. But yeah, maybe I'll tune in for that tomorrow. That might be something worth watching at least. Have something on at least in the background.
Yeah, certainly. I'm not too sure. Hockey is one of my middle of the pack favorite sports. But we are in the season. With golf, baseball, and the hockey. So we'll see. But luckily, football and basketball won't be too long as far as the rear view. So good to see.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, me personally, I just this time in the year, it's never my favorite because I don't really watch golf, and then like the other, I guess like baseball is like I like watching baseball, in October, but other than that, like there's just so many games, it's hard for me to kind of keep up. So I don't I don't like this part of the year, like as far as sports go, because it seems like there's in the fall comes around, there's like something on every night, after that for a good while. So I'll be mainly just keeping up the UFC next couple months until football comes back around.
True. At least something worth watching for baseball. For baseball fanatics, Game 3 of the College World Series will be tomorrow. So any Tennessee fans, Texas A&M fans, we'll see who wins the College World Series tomorrow. Yeah, but yeah, we're in the transitional period, kind of for sports, but get through. But anyways, yeah, thank you again Joaquin. Yikes! It's been over over an hour. Sometimes these things just fly by, but yeah.
Yeah, sure
Thank you
did.
again, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. It's been awesome. Been a pleasure. Look forward to getting on in the future sometime. Um, really fun podcast. Thanks, brother.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for coming on. Discuss stuff. And thank you guys all again for listening. And thanks, of course, for tuning in. Listen to us. Listen to me and Joaquin. Um, we'll see. I'm trying to venture out, having more guests, so we'll see. But nonetheless, thanks again, Joaquin. Yeah, welcome on podcasts anytime. Just let me know, and yeah, we'll see what happens again. But
Sweet. Awesome. Thanks again, brother. Yeah, we'll
yeah,
have to do it again soon.
yeah, no problem. Joaquin, uh, be in touch. Talk talk to you soon. Uh, but yeah, thank you guys all um, for tuning in. If you guys like this video, um, like to listen to me and Joaquin talk about whatever, leave a like. If you haven't, subscribe as well. But thank you guys all. Thanks, Joaquin. Talk to you soon, man. And see you guys
All right. Later, brother.
later.